again, my darling viewers, sentient life forms, and various artificial intelligences. I'm Musicetta, and you're watching Disney Champ. The Les Amis vlogs. So lately, because of the whole adulting thing, I've been doing a lot of cooking, and that got me thinking. What were you thinking about, Ketta? Well, dear curious viewer, I was thinking about gender roles. And while I much prefer thinking about pizza rolls, I can't help but ponder the fact that my love of cooking plays directly into the role that's been defined for me by our society. Women are supposed to keep house and have children and cook, or at least that's what my grandmother's generation was taught. Nowadays, that's not always the case, but even though we're more empowered than ever, gender roles are still totally ingrained in our culture. Women are objectified as wives, mothers, and sexual partners. Women are still seen as caretakers, and if we refuse this role, we're looked down upon. Just think how often girls are asked if they're planning on settling down anytime soon. Not only are the gender roles prescribed to us completely limiting, they're also entirely heteronormative. What if a girl does want to get married, but can't marry her girlfriend because it's illegal? What if she's asexual or aromantic? What if she's polyamorous and doesn't want to marry only one of her partners? To really get to the bottom of this issue, you have to think about what our society is teaching girls. With questions like, when are you planning on settling down, or do you have a boyfriend yet? We're teaching girls that their worth lies in the hands of a boy, that they can only be happy if they're wanted by a boy. I love rom-coms, but you have to admit there's a common theme. A girl has everything in life, a good job, a good house, money, but she's still not happy. Why? Because she's single. Of course, in the last few decades, it's become a bit more acceptable to be a single woman, but still, the number of accounts on dating sites like OkCupid and Tinder are growing daily. It's not wrong to want someone or a few someones to be with, but there's also nothing wrong with not wanting a partner. What I want and what millions of other women want is the ability to choose what we want to do with our lives and who we want to have alongside us on that journey. And that's one of the reasons why I'm a feminist. Now, the word feminist. It's become something of a bad word in our society. Each year, Time magazine does a poll on which words should be banned from use, and in addition to words like bossy and basic, which are both negative qualities often prescribed to women, Time included the word feminist on this year's list. Although they later apologized, it still stands that the word had the most votes before the poll was closed. What is it about feminism that scares people so much? Challenges to feminism, as it turns out, don't just come from men. Women have been treated poorly for so long that many have come to accept our inferior place in society, and so they denounce feminism as a movement. People call us obnoxious, man-hating butch lesbians, but the truth is that many people don't understand what feminism really stands for. To quote Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, a feminist is a person who believes in the social, political, and economic equality of the sexes. And really, shouldn't all people want that? The truth is, it's hard being a feminist. We are directly contradicting the roles set out for us by society. We are told to stay quiet, we are told to be polite, we are told to be ladylike, and that pisses people off. We are called bitch and whore and bossy for expressing our opinions and taking up space and being loud. Take Nicki Minaj, for example. She made a comparison between herself and male rappers and said that when she was assertive, she was labeled a bitch, whereas when men are assertive, they are labeled as bossed up. This double standard is deadly. You can see it all over the media. Taylor Swift, for instance, is constantly berated for talking about her ex-boyfriends, but as she pointed out in a recent interview, no one ever bothers Ed Sheeran for writing about his exes. Look at Hillary Clinton even. She's running for president, and the only thing people have to say is that they're worried about what she'll be like on her period. Clearly, these people, first of all, don't understand what menopause is, but still, the fact that they're focused on her personal life instead of her policies is ridiculous. On the bright side, recently quite a few celebrities have made it clear that they identify with the feminist movement. Amy Poehler, Ellen Page, Beyonce, Sir Patrick Stewart, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Emma Watson, and most recently Taylor Swift have all shown their support. These last two in particular, over the past couple of months, have inspired thousands of girls to announce their own support for feminism, thus spreading the cause even further. In the last few years, the online discourse has shifted from statements such as, "I'm not like other girls," to expressions of solidarity, where girls will proudly announce their support for each other. And really, that's the first step. If we want equality, we need to support each other. We need a united front. Now, the feminist movement is far from perfect. Feminism has deep roots in racism, transmisogyny, ableism, and other forms of prejudices. But it's 2014, it's almost 2015, and we're striving for a new feminism. A feminism based on intersectionality, a feminism that supports women of color and queer women and disabled women and women who choose to wear lots of makeup and women who choose to wear none at all. A feminism that's about loving your sisters. So, I'm a feminist, and I am proud to proclaim it to the world. I don't hate men, and I do think that all genders should be equal. I want to live in a world where I can earn just as much as any man doing the same job. I want to live in a world where girls are not considered strange if they don't want to get married. I want to live in a world where rape culture doesn't exist and where I can walk home at night without fearing for my life. I want to live in a world where feminist is not a curse. I want to live in a world where we are all equal. That's all I've got for this round. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I hope it inspires you to scream out to the world that you want to be heard. Don't forget to check out all of the rest of the videos put out by Les Amis, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and stay beautiful.